Hello and welcome to Transcending Crochet. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to make this super fast, super simple dish scrubby. So this is really easy. All it is 4 rounds of double crochets with some strategic increases throughout. These would make great Christmas presents, you know, Christmas season. I know most crocheters start Christmas mid-July, but these, if you're running short on time, these are a great present. They're fast when they work up. I made this one in like all of 10 minutes. They're super fast, super simple, and the pattern's super easy to follow through with. So without further ado, let's get to this pattern. So today I am using Loops and Threads Squeaky Clean yarn. I think this one's a new one at Michael's. I absolutely love this stuff for these. It's much better than any other ones I find because this one has more of that polyester type like fringe to it, where others use cotton, which makes it very difficult to crochet with. So I really like this yarn. For this one I use the red. Today for the tutorial though, I'm using orange because I think it'll show up better on camera. I'm going to start with my orange yarn, and today I'm going to be using a 5.5 millimeter hook. To start today, you can either start with chaining 3 and joining to make a ring, or if you want to try with this yarn, I managed to do this pretty simply with a magic ring. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the yarn, wrap around my fingers, cross underneath, wrap over the top and hold it. I'm going through it very quickly here, but if you want a more in-depth video tutorial on how to do all these stitches and how to do these magic rings, I will leave a link above for my basics of crochet playlist where you can follow through. I take it nice and slow, so you'll get the hang of these in no time. So I'm going to reach under that first strand, pull it up, twist, and I'm just going to let it go. Hold my yarn, and I'm going to chain 1 to start, and I'm going to do a stack single crochet. So I'm going to make a single crochet, and then in the post of these side ones, I just got 1 there, here's 2. I'm going to make another single crochet on top. And then that counts as our first double crochet, so we're going to do 11 more double crochets. So we got 12 double crochets total in this ring. So to double crochet, you're going to yarn over, go into the ring, pull up a loop, 3 on your hook, you're going to go through 2, and then you're going to go through 2. Yarn over, into the ring, pull up a loop, go through 2, go through 2. There's 3, going to the loop, 2 and 2, 4, pulling up loop, 2 and 2, yarning over, going into the loop, pulling up loop, going through 2 loops, and 2. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we just got 6 more to do. So I will see you at the end of this round. I'll keep the video slow because I know these magic rings are stubborn as heck. So you can watch what I'm doing and follow along. I just won't be the annoying person talking the entire time. Feel free to just push these off to the side if you need more room with these 2 strands to keep doing your double crochets, because 12 is a lot. And I'm going to do my last one with you, so I'm going to yarn over into the ring, 2 and 2. I think that's 12. Let me just count quick. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope, that was 11. I'm going to do 1 more, so, and that is 12 for me. And you can count, this yarn is also super easy to see your loop. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And so now what we can do is we can take that strand and pull it tight if you're doing a magic ring, and it should create a nice circle for you. And you can just leave that down and off to the side. Sorry, my yarn fell on the floor. And then what we can do is, this is the top stitch of our stack single crochet. So what we can do is we can put a hook through it and do a slip stitch join. So I'm just going to yarn over, pull through this loop, and I'm going to pull through the loop on my hook. And what I find with slip stitch joins, if you leave them loose, they sort of get bulky and in the way and they can create a gap. So what you're going to do is, with the yarn on, not the loop closest to you on your hook, but the strand that's furthest away, you're just going to pull that tight. And this creates a much tinier, more indistinguishable loop that joins. So what we're going to do now for our second round is, into this first stitch here, you're going to pull up. We're just going to go straight into a stack single crochet. I found with stack single crochets, if you do a chain, it just gets messy and looks loose. So if you just go straight in with a single crochet, it looks a lot cleaner. So there's my first single crochet, going into the side 2 pegs here, doing another single crochet on top. And then our second round is just going to be 2 double crochets in every stitch. So there's our first one in this first stitch. And then going into the same stitch, I'm just going to do a regular double crochet. So I yarned over, I'm pulling up loop, I got 3 on my hook, I'm going through 2, going through 2. Into the next stitch, which is right here. If you can't really see them, you can always like feel it out on like where the spaces are. That's what my trick is. If I'm using yarn where it's like really fluffy, is I sort of just like feel where the gaps are, where the loops I think should be. So I'm going to place another 2 double crochets into that. So you had 12 double crochets the first round. At the end of this round, you should have 24 double crochets. So you're just going to continue all the way around, putting 2 double crochets into each stitch. And I will see you guys at the end of this round. Okay, I'm on my last 2 stitches here, and this is going to be really hard to tell because we made such a tight join, but this is our last stitch here. So if you count, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20. So this is going to be 21, 22, this is going to be 23, 24, and this will create a really tight join so you won't be able to tell or have any weird gaps in your project. So I'll do these last 4 stitches with you. So there's 1, sorry about that. Here's 1 now. There's 2. Sorry, this yarn is tricky to work with in the first place, but through a camera it makes it a little bit more annoying than usual. And then in this last stitch, we're just going to place 2 double crochets. And so there's the end of round 2. We only have 2 more rounds to go before you have a fully completed one like this, and it is pretty big. Nice for doing dishes over the holidays. And then here's our stack single crochet, which means this loop at the top here, that's the one we're going to join in with. So going through with the slip stitch, I'm just going to yarn over, pull through that loop and the one on my hook. Reaching to the furthest loop on the back, I'm going to pull that tight. And going into this stitch here where we put our slip stitch, I'm just going to go straight in with a single crochet to start round 3 with a stack single crochet. So I made a single crochet, and then through these 2 side stitches, I'm going to place another single crochet on top of that. If you're struggling to see where your end and the start of a project is, you can always put stitch markers in there just to mark where you start and end a row. if you're struggling with that, because I know that can be a challenge for most beginners, is, oh hey, where was my last stitch? But you can always put a stitch marker here and here to make it a lot easier. So for round 3, you're going to place 1 double crochet, and then in the next stitch after it, you're going to place 2 double crochets. So 1, yarn over, 2 and 2, and there's second. So how I count if I've got multiple repeats in a pattern is I go 1, and then in the one where I'm doing my increase, 1 and 2. And this just helps me keep track, because if I'm just putting in multiple single double crochets in each stitch, I go 1, 2, 3, 4. But when I get to an increase, I go 1 and 2 and 3 if there's more than one increase. It just makes it a little simpler in my mind. So you see we've got 1, you can easily tell there's 2, 1, 2, so that means we're starting on 1 here. And then here's our increase of 2 double crochets. So 1 into the same stitch, there's our second double crochet. Then we place just 1 double crochet in 1 stitch, and then moving on to the next stitch, we're going to increase. So 1 and 2. And we're just going to continue this pattern of 1 double crochet in 1 stitch, and then in the next, doing an increase of 2 double crochets. And I will see you at the end of this round. Okay, I'm on my last 4 stitches, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is a really good check to see if you've done the correct amount of increases, because we're increasing by 2, so that means this is a group of 2 and this is a group of 2. But if you had an odd number here, that means you probably did an extra increase somewhere or an extra single crochet somewhere. So that's just a good way to check that you've done everything correctly. So I'm going to do these last 4 stitches with you. So start with a single, just 1 double crochet in 1 stitch, and an increase in the next. Single crochet in the next. Not single crochet. Double crochet in the next. Sorry guys. It's been a week for me. And then in our last stitch, we're just going to put 2 double crochets. And there's round 3, so we just have 1 more round to go, and it's basically the same thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch join to the top of this stack single crochet, so into the top stitch here, yarn over, pull through that, and the one on my hook, back loop, pull tight. Into the same stitch, we're going to place a stack single crochet through these 2 loops here. Place another single crochet on top of that, and the repeat for this round is 2 double crochets and then an increase, so 2 double crochets in 2 stitches, 2 double crochets in 1 stitch. So there's our first double crochet. Moving on to the next stitch, placing another double crochet, and then the next stitch after it, so here, placing 2 double crochets in that 1 stitch. There's 1 in there, and then we're going to place 1 more, like so. And then moving on to the next stitch, we're just going to place a double crochet in that, and then moving on to the stitch after that, placing another double crochet in there, and then the next stitch is our increase, so there's 1 double crochet in it, and then here's another double crochet in it, so we got 2 there. So this is just your repeat that you're going to do at the end, and then I'll show you how to cut off and weave in your ends for these, and I will let you enjoy the rest of your day crocheting. So there's 1, moving on to the next stitch, 1, And then here is the double. There we go. And I will see you guys at the end of this round. If you have any struggles with this, you can always go back and replay part of the video that you need. And if you need a slowdown or anything, just check under my channel. Basics of Crochet is everything you need to know to excel at these patterns. And if you like these videos, like them, comment on them, and please subscribe to my channel. It helps me out so much if you subscribe. I feel so grateful that I get to have this chance to share these patterns that I get to create with all you guys out there, and that I am teaching a whole lot of people how to crochet, which makes me very happy. So thank you for subscribing. I don't say that enough, but thank you for subscribing. It means a lot to me. Welcome back. I'm on my last 3 stitches of this project, so I just thought I would do them with you guys. There's one, there's the second last stitch, and then our last increase, which is our last stitch of this project, like so. And what we're going to do to finish off this scrubby is we're just going to do our slip stitch join into the top of this stack single crochet here. So I'm just going to yarn over and pull through these 2 loops here, pull it tight, and then I'm just going to cut my yarn. How I cut my yarn is normally around between my middle finger and my 4th finger. I find that gives me just enough to weave in my ends. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to act like I'm going to do a chain, so I'm going to yarn over. I'm just going to pull through this loop, but instead of going for another chain, I'm just going to pull all the way through and pull that tight. And so we are done. We can weave in our ends now. Some tips and tricks for weaving in our ends. For me, I like creating like small knots whenever I'm weaving in my ends, so I'll just use this one as an example. So I'm just going to go down through this peg of this double crochet like so. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to find like the nearest loop, so like here would be like a near loop for me, and I'm going to go like that, and then I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to go through this loop that I created here to create a little knot. And I find these little knots are really helpful, especially in projects that are going to get used a lot, because now not only are you relying on just your woven ends being relied on to keep woven in, but you've also got a little knot to stop it just in case they unravel, because I know that does happen in some cases. Because I know whoever is going to get to use these, if you're making them for yourself or for gifts, you want these to last a really long time. So after you're done weaving in your ends, you can trim, and then there you go, your project is complete. Here is a really simple, really fast, really easy dish scrubby. I hope you enjoyed making these. Please, if you want to send me a message, just my Instagram is Transcending Crochet, same title as my channel. Feel free to shoot me a message on what you create. I would love to see what you make. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I try to respond to every single comment I get as soon as I can. I hope you enjoy making these, and I can't wait to see you at the next pattern. Have a great day.